right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode with the boys. We're back. It's been a minute, but we're finally back with Jorge Martinez from the Exchange, Steve Pontecorvo rocking that Tottenham jersey from TMV Clothing. What's going on, fellas? How are you guys doing?
We're back, baby. I'm happy to be back. I got to see Steve this weekend in person. But yo, I'm happy to be back. Took forever to get back. He said a minute. It's more like an hour.
I know it feels good to be back from the hiatus, back in the arena, back talking to you guys. We're talking some shit here. A couple draws like the Sandro way, Sandro running onto the field. Oh man, dude, this is gonna be action packed. We got a lot to
Yo,
talk about.
I think Sandro could beat Sean Nealis in a race.
I was thinking about you when I saw Sean Nealis out there, man. What do you say? I don't know. He had something on his butt or something.
Yeah,
Um,
he's like he's running around. I got a pound of shit in his ass. He
Listen,
runs so slow.
it was a chaotic night. I know that a lot of people felt some type of way ending that game with a draw. But just quickly, I want to mention Minnesota United is a good team, and obviously we're at home. We're used to winning at home. Getting a draw is not always a good feeling, but obviously the big things that we have to mention first. Lewis Morgan is out with a quad injury. We don't know how long it will take, but apparently, from what I've been hearing, 2 months, perhaps 3 months, because they want to take it easy on him. And that means we're probably going to see him during the playoffs, maybe. We don't know. And Cam Harper, I don't know if we had mentioned it on the previous episodes. No, we haven't because we haven't recorded. But Cam Harper is going to be out until the end of the season, 5 to 6 months. Obviously, that nasty collision in the game against Austin FC. Two big attacking pieces that were missing, and we still ended up a 2-2 draw. Obviously, like I said, I'm not happy. I want to win, but you got to take things in consideration. And I think it was still a decent result. Our DP showed up, Emil Forsberg and Chupomoting. Just want to hear from you guys a breakdown of the game, thoughts, analysis of the game against Minnesota.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead, Jumpy.
I think that you had to get a result there, dude. That was their third keeper. So their main keeper is with Canada. Their backup gets hurt. So you're facing the third string goalie. Like, how are you not just shooting the ball every chance you get close? There was one play when Sergeant Goma came in and he ended up losing. Like, he started in from one side. It was like a very promising run. Started in from one side, started crossing the net, and then like was looking for the pass. I'm like, how are you not shooting?
Yes.
Just start shooting at this guy. He hasn't been warmed up. He probably hasn't even played. His even at practice, like that third guy is only really practicing with the goalies. Like they're not really practicing with the team. So like there's no action. Like, how do you not take advantage of that? Like that was wild to me. Like there's no shot. Like, I don't know, man. It was an off night. I thought they should have won. I know people are saying Minnesota is a good team. Granted, I think they're in third, but they were missing so many pieces. They were missing so many pieces. You had to win this game.
I do agree with you with the runs, Steve. Before you go, we had some counter-attacking situations that we just didn't take advantage of, man. I think we had too much time overthinking about the passing or just the shooting, and we missed on that.
They're
But go,
scared to shoot. They're like scared to shoot.
yeah, yeah. I think we saw two different halves too. Go ahead, Steve.
I think they were just looking for that like perfect setup and shot again, which is so frustrating, and it's very frustrating from the fans' perspective as well. Everyone in the stadium could feel it. And Jumpy, there was a lot of people who think the same thing. It's like, why weren't we just ripping shots at this guy? Like once that keeper like went down. So it was strange to see, and it's kind of how the game goes. Minnesota is a good team, so we'll take the result, but we got to win one of those two games at Toronto or at home. You'd like to win one of those games just because Toronto's at the bottom and Minnesota
Yeah.
at home, and we score first from a good combination play. Chupo in the box, moving and shaking, gets taken, pushed into the keeper. Okay, this is I guess how the injury started. Hurt his shoulder. And he stayed down. Emil finished it off. So Emil, Johnny on the spot. but Chupo did a lot of work on that. So we got to give Chupo a lot of praise, even scoring on the second goal. He's been
Yeah,
saving
and
our match, Jumpy.
yeah.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
On that first goal, you saw how crafty he was with the ball at his feet. You saw that little move. He got into the box, find a pass, and also big credit to Kyle Duncan for chipping the ball over, finding him. Great pass, and also great assist in the second half.
Team of the week. He made team of the week, I think, or whatever it is. Match
Chupo?
day team. No,
No,
Kyle
Kyle.
and
Oh,
Trupo.
yeah. Oh, I know Chupa. I didn't know Kyle was made it
Kyle,
to the team.
yeah, he
Great,
made it on the
great,
team.
great,
Yeah,
great,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
And that's
Happy
so
for him.
good. That's great for a guy who's like worked so hard to from his injury from last year, a guy who missed out on that playoff run from last year. I know he wanted to be on that field. So he was rehabbing for a while and he said he would come back stronger and he's really solidified himself there at that right position. So we really needed him in this spot, especially with all the guys going down. Like you said, Lewis going down, Cam. We can't see these guys go down. Cam Harper going down is borderline season defining because he's that guy who's going to have that next step, who's probably going to chip in, I'd say 8, even 10 goals, dare I say, all season long. I mean, that's probably his aim, or just contributions in that matter. So that's why
Well,
it's
he could
good to
probably
see.
tell us. He's a stat guy. We found that out at the
Yeah, we
show.
did. We did.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that, you lose Lewis, and this kind of has to tip the hand of the Red Bull. We know it's going to come around on the corner. So, yeah, we'll take a draw at this, but I know I wanted to win based off that first goal. I thought we had them, and then in the end, the second half of the first half, Minnesota turned it up with 2 goals of their own, one from a throw-in, which we just got to defend better.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys on the first half because it felt like the first 25 minutes we showed that we were a team with intensity. We looked to counter. We were defending well. We were pressing. Sofo and Goma had great plays defending and countering, but then we dropped the intensity, and then we let Minnesota have the ball way too long. They had way too much time on the ball, way too much time to decide what place to go and attack us, and we waited. Why did we do that? I think if you compare the first half and the second half, the entire second half we push, push forward until we find that goal. Why we're not
Mm-hmm.
doing that in the first half?
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. We go up a goal, then we kind of sit back a little bit. I know
They
Felipe.
thought that they were going to smack them, probably.
Yeah, yeah. And in Felipe's his last game, Felipe Carballo, shout out to our boy there. But I feel like he was forcing some passes in that midfield, turning the ball over. So some loose passes, turning the ball over, combination play from Minnesota, catching us out, and we're just not ready. We're just not on it, not on our toes. So I don't know why we're letting them do this. It's not by choice. I don't think they're trying to let them waltz through us like that, trying to not
Uh-huh.
make it look so easy. Yeah, we just got to be harder on the ball, man. You know what I mean? We got to anticipate better the defenders too.
I agree. Jorge, your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, that's I think the bigger issue is like the defense. Still, I'm still not sold on the defense. I think up top everything's gonna be all right. Like I see promise from like this kid Bogish.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he's a monster. He moves like he's small, but he's ginormous. Like so on crosses, he's a savage. He could run. He has a great touch. Like, dude, he's gonna be the game changer for this thing. Um, we saw Lewis after the game, and he told us 6 to 8 weeks. It's not. It's a different injury. Um, it's almost like I said it as a joke to you guys, like, and I said it to him. Like, is this medical staff like equipped for this? Like, why are you bringing these guys back? Like, it's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not. Because in
Yeah.
my head, when you said, "Oh, we could have them for the playoffs," in my head, I'm like, if I'm them, the player, I know as bad as you want to get out there, let's just run this thing next year. Let me come back. Let me take that time off. Let me not risk this again. Because what good is it if I keep coming back just to get hurt 45 minutes in, an hour a game in? Like, at some point, you have to be like, all right, let me step back. Let me get this sorted out, do this the right way, do rehab the right way, and that's that.
Yeah, but you also have to think about how these injuries now are now becoming more common for him, and now it's a little scary as a player, and then also for the team.
Of course, but I also think that has a lot to do with the lack of break and the lack of, the stopping, the going. There's no rhythm, especially with a guy like that just came back from an injury. His team went to the finals, so his break's even shorter. The season started a little quicker. Then you had to go and start. Then you had to, you know what I mean? So like, dude, he had promising time. He played. It's with Scotland too. I mean, granted, he didn't play. He played at the end, but like he had a workload
Mhm.
on his body.
Yeah, that's gonna be somebody who we're gonna miss a lot, especially when we need difference makers on the field, and so is Cam as well. But you mentioned something about the defense, and I think the first goal, you got to give credit to Minnesota United. Pereira has a nice flick over Carvalho in his last game, unfortunately, and then finds Yeboah, who cooks in the box, makes Omar Valencia look bad, and he gets the goal. The ball goes through Omar Valencia's legs and goes to the corner. I think that in those type of situations, you really can't blame anybody. You gotta give credit to Minnesota for finding the players to connect. But in the second goal, I'm disappointed. That was a horrible defensive display. I don't think we're marking the players well. We left too many players open, and the guy when he receives the cross all by himself, big
Yeah,
dude.
he's Dolo. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm thinking, and you see Noah. Noah Isle is pointing to the players. There's too many people open here. What are we doing? And I think those are the things that even Sandro got really mad. I saw him from the broadcast. He was super upset about that. And I just, like, who is there to blame? Is it the set piece coach? Is it the players? What's going on with that second goal, man? Because that was disappointing right before the end of the first half.
Ooh, sound like an owl. I love you, bro. But yeah, who to blame? I don't know. Or we blame the offense because they had a lot of chances too. They just didn't finish. I saw a lot of plays that got into Chupo's feet, but he's in like the 6 yard box and the goalie's crashing in on him. So how's he supposed to finish that? We had plenty of corners too. We had a chance to score multiple goals. We just didn't get the shots on net. I know it says like no shots, but we had like close looks and opportunity. We got into the right places on the field. It just we're not executing. You know what I mean? We have the ambition. You know what I mean? We're pretty consistent for the most part. We're just lacking that execution. So the defense, yeah, but I think this team can score 3 goals in a game. We have enough firepower with Sofo running riot, and then you got Surge too.
So
So
you're one of those that wants a 4-3, 5-4,
I mean,
those type of games.
that's kind of fucking MLS. It's like the Wild Wild West sometimes.
it
You're gonna
used to be like that. It's not really like that no more. I feel.
you just
I
calm
f-
down.
I feel like it's calmed down a bit. Like, granted, you still see some of those, but like, think about it. Montreal and NYCFC, it was a 1-0. There was another low scoring one somewhere too. And I'm like, it used to be, and there used to be, that stigma that it was like a goal scoring fest. But it's changed. But some teams can't win like that.
Mm.
And the Red Bull are a team that cannot win that right now.
The
They
history.
need they need a scorer. And I know that you guys and everybody is all fired up about this Timo Werner thing. But I
Why do
think
you
you
think
have to
I'm
be
wearing
careful
the
what you
jersey?
wish for. I think you have to be careful what you wish for. Because I think you're gonna get a guy that's like at the end of the road. And you're not getting like a triple mote,
He's
because
29.
but he hasn't done dick before. Where is he right now? Nobody wants him. That's why he's coming here. Nobody wants him. At
Say his name,
29 years old, nobody wants him. Not even the Saudis. Nobody wants him at 29.
Timo.
Nobody wants him.
It's the problem with the Qataris and the Saudis don't want anybody from Europe.
And they'll take anybody, bro. I got an offer. They'll take anybody, bro.
No, no, but you're talking about a Champions League winner, a Europa League winner. He's been part of the locker room. Yes, he fell off, but he was doing great with Leipzig. And he had his moment with the national team as well. He's still young, 29. I think there were some offers from Turkey. There were some offers from some Premier League teams as well. There were no
Yeah.
official, but there were rumors. Yeah, yeah, there were some rumors that he could stay in England. But I think the bigger question is why not bring him? Because I mean I saw Sergio Goldman. I think he struggled a little bit. He was defensively, I think he contributed to the team. But there was one play early in the match. I think you mentioned it, Steve or Jumpy, where Emil puts a ball through and he crosses the ball. Maybe he could have taken a shot, like a forward type of mentality. Take the shot, man. Take the shot instead of looking for the cross, because nobody ended up being on the other side, and we missed a great opportunity in the box. But yeah, no, that's somebody who I would feel like could be a difference maker in a league for him to gain confidence to later maybe make another move back to Europe like Zlatan did.
Yeah,
Timo
that's Zlatan.
Werner.
You want to know something? You don't know? We brought it up. I'm sorry. We spoke to Julian Gressel after the game, and Mo asked him, he's like, "Do you have started in Europe, came back to play in college, and then ended up in the MLS?" So Mo was like, you took a different path. You were playing in like Germany. Do you think you could go back to play? And he's like, honestly, there's not too many people who want a 31-year-old. Like I'm very aware of that. Um, there's not too many people. He's like, but what about Zlatan? He's like, dude, Zlatan's Zlatan. And I was about to say the same. You know, Zlatan went back, but he's Zlatan. And he went back to AC Milan. You know what I mean? And he went back to Serie A, which like not saying it's like the worst league, but it's not like these kids that are like going for your ankles. Dude, you see the craziest slide tackles in like the MLS. These kids are just ruthless. Like there's no finesse to it. It's still very American. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Come on. Yeah.
But listen, we're talking about a guy too that if you're building your team around Forsberg, this is somebody you want to have in his arsenal. Forsberg put in a fucking pearl of a ball in the second half. I think Serge got in the foul. But anyway, it's not the first time either. And it skips. I mean, and maybe it was a half a foot away from the post and it just goes out of bounds. I had a perfect angle at it, but just all it needed a touch. So the play is there. And if you're talking about a guy, Timo, who has camaraderie already built with Forsberg, then I feel like it's a no-brainer, especially with Lewis Morgan out. We can't rely on Lewis Morgan staying healthy, and we're gonna rush him back. That's a whole other problem. And with Cam being out as well, I mean, it's just too easy. We talked about it months ago because it's like a very obvious choice. It's a funny situation because nobody wants him, but that's fine. It's kind of the same thing with Chupo. Everyone was doubting like this guy hasn't played. What do we know? What's going on? And then last night, even Chupo like going left to right, like kind of dancing around two people, and then he almost chipped the keeper too. I was like, that's straight up Bayern Munich Chupo Moateng, like right there. So I think Timo could easily contribute to this team. He'd fit right in. So I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, I know you don't like him, Jumpy, but why not reinvent
No, no, no,
yourself?
no, no, no.
Did you?
I don't like him for this situation. I'm telling you. Listen, man, and I told you guys via text, like this team right now isn't a playoff team, and I don't think he's the guy that takes it to the playoffs. If that's
Now,
what you
this
guys
is
are
a
thinking,
playoff team. Listen, this is a playoff team, not a championship team. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
We're
9 teams
but
make it to the
everybody makes the
playoffs.
playoffs. Yeah, everybody does. So I take that back. Everybody
Oh,
makes the fucking
exactly.
playoffs.
So you can give us a playoff team. We're sitting in seventh. We're the exact same team as we were last year. Trajectory is literally the same. Fourth place is already slipping away. June started with a loss and two draws. So we need to step it up. We have an away game, and we better fucking get used to trying to get results in a way because we're gonna be playing away in the playoffs. That's the way it's looking. And if we want any shot at making another run, you need to add quality players. We need to have that depth, just like we had last year. It all came together. A healthy Lewis instead of a healthy Lewis. Maybe we have Timo and Lewis. Like, if I dare say it, I don't know if Lewis will even be ready for that.
Dude, can Lois Morgan win comeback player of the year again if he's out the rest of the year hurt next year? That's not even a joke. I'm asking serious.
I don't know how many times a player could win comeback player of the year. That is a good question. Um, so it just sucks about his injury too. That it's a different injury. So it's a sticky situation. I know he signed up. I don't know how many years does he have in his contract. Do you know, Jumpy, off the top
I
of your
think
head?
it's two.
2 more years. So and this whole Timo thing, if it's gonna happen, it's probably gonna be a loan deal, my guess, for a year.
Yeah, but just to bring it back to something important that you mentioned, because obviously we need to give Lewis his time to rest. but I want to focus on the players that are here now. And Choupo-Moting, like you said, everybody was expecting him to perform, but he's performing at a high level. 11 goals, 19 games,
Best player on the team.
and is one of the best players in the team. And I think what he needed was time to get back in rhythm, feel the competitive level, and still be able to, be an important piece for this club. Because you can see it. It's not only the quality when he is in the 18-yard box, but it's the way that he contributes. He backs up a little bit. Sorry, he drops back and continues the play. So he's the one that's helping us create. And he's running and he's pushing. He's playing 90 minutes almost
Yeah,
all
he's
the
playing
time.
90 minutes. That's
Yes.
the craziest thing too, is that
36.
he's in it to the last. I didn't think that was good. I thought he was going to be, struggling with stamina.
Yeah, and right now, our DPs are carrying the team, if you really think about it.
But that's what they're there for.
But we didn't see that earlier in the season. Now, with all the other injuries that are happening, they're stepping up. So imagine if you bring a high caliber player like Timo Werner, just give the ball to those three guys, man. They're gonna ball out. I have faith that Timo Werner is gonna turn things around and he's gonna make us a championship team. But yeah, I think that I do have to bring back the moment with Chupo as well, where there was a controversial call, I believe in the second half when he gets a ball from Kyle Duncan. Again, always
He gets kicked in the head.
that is that a penalty for you guys? I have to ask.
Yes.
1,000,000%.
Yes, I don't know, how did that not go to VAR?
The worst referees
I don't know,
ever.
Krista. Did you see on your end? I mean, from our end, it looked like that's usually the VAR ref and the referee on the field have some kind of communication. So that's between those two guys to figure it out. That's like a two-guy call. So if the ref is not asking, then the other ref and the VAR ref is like, no, I don't see anything. Then they're both like, all right, nope.
So did he actually hit Chupo
It
on
looked
the
like
face?
it.
It looked
It
like
looked like
it.
it.
It's really difficult. The only angle that I saw, the slow mo, he gets to the ball, but then it feels like he's making contact with Chupo's head. But it's difficult because he gets the ball first. It's still a dangerous play. But my thing is, I think Sandro was expecting, hey, at least check the play again, and he was furious.
Yeah, at least check
Yeah,
it. That's what we're
but you
saying.
got to give them that. Here's the thing, man. Those referees this week, actually, it's every fucking week, but this week was really bad. This week they were really bad. This week they were really fucking bad, like really bad. They let it go early, and then they couldn't gain control of it. And then when things got a little chippy, things got a little crazy. They tried to blow the whistles at the wrong time. I thought that when they decided that they needed to take control of the game, it was going Minnesota's way. A lot of the times, like, and things were opening up. Oh, dude, let's not even talk about that last play. Like, you give Minnesota two chances in the box, right? After 4 minutes, they get a 3-on-1. You have to let that play run. You have to. You
Victor Bogas
have to.
was
Bro,
alone,
you have to let that play go. You have to let that play go. Let them get a shot, and then you blow the whistle.
My
You
question,
can't not give them that shot, dude.
my
Please.
my question is, was the Minnesota play the last play of the match, or do you think the one where we recover the ball was that a continuation from that play?
That was when and Emil has the ball and he's going up with two guys on one guy on his
Uh
left, one
huh.
guy on his right. One, oh, dude, that's a continuation from the play. The way
Okay.
that it bounced over there and everything went, it's not like they grabbed it and then they started. It was a flow. Like you can't stop that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you can't stop that. You can't stop that. Like, I don't even know what you're thinking as a referee to justify that.
He had a flight to catch.
I have
Yeah,
no
but
idea. The ref was so bad that he was literally escorted out by security.
Yeah, talk to me. How do you
Like,
guys?
bro, the ref was just making poor calls the whole night. It was just blowing the whistle too much, and it got really bad in the second half. I mean, fouls on Forsberg, fouls on Chupo, fouls on Serge Goma going the other way, and it was frustrating. And it was frustrating for Felipe Carballo too, who ended up getting subbed out in the second half. Ronald Doncourt comes in, which I'm expecting to see a lot more of Ronald Doncourt now that Felipe's loan has ended. Hack came in. We got to see Julian Hall came in, but it didn't help, with the refereeing, obviously, we can't use as an excuse. And we saw that in Sandro's press conference. He just used sarcasm, which is fucking hilarious. He just said they did great. And honestly, who am I to criticize, because it's a referee's job and they got the hardest job out there. So what do I?
Dude, like I asked Kyle, I without giving yourself a fine, talk about that last play. Because the truth of the matter is, every play, even Forsberg, we were like, without getting a fine, what do you like? I was furious for them. And I don't have a horse in the race, because the truth of the matter is, when I lead there, who gives a shit, right? But I'm like, bro, you cannot, you cannot let that happen as a referee. Like, that's so fucking bad.
What was the
That's
response?
so bad. That was so bad.
The response was Sandro sprinting onto the field full force, charging at the referee, and the referee shitting himself all in the process.
You know what? If you
And
watch the
literally,
video,
yeah.
AV, everybody knows AV, right? Dude, AV starts sprinting, starts running after Sandro.
I've never
It
seen
was
You know what?
Sandro act like that before. I mean, these referee performances have been like slowly getting under his skin. So I feel like this has been like built up from like so many bullshit calls and so many like bad decisions and the timing and everything else. Once he blew that whistle, he was like a dart. I've never seen him. And
dude.
he's wearing white, which is so funny because he's in like a beach t-shirt wearing white. He just probably came down from the shore, and he's just like, this motherfucker.
Baywatch
Dude,
style.
yeah. Yeah.
A-Watch
No,
style on the
yeah.
beach, Sandro.
Dude, Sandro, damn. But you know what? It says a lot.
It's
It says
passionate.
a lot. Yeah, it says a
I love
lot.
it. We
You
love
know,
we can make fun of it, and so did he. And that's the
yeah.
But this
glory
is
of
the
it.
second time he gets suspended within 3 weeks.
But this
Yeah, yeah,
one's
but
a
you
good
have
one.
to.
It's
You have
almost
to.
like
You had to.
he's honing in on that Mourinho type of thing, almost.
You have to. You had
A
to.
He's
German
gonna start
Mourinho.
poking people's eyes.
A German Mourinho over
The
here.
German Mourinho.
We literally
No.
No.
had Forsberg holding Sandro back.
Yeah.
Yo, it's funny because when the whistle blows, Emil's looking at the sideline and he's like, oh shit, here comes Sandro. He stopped complaining to the ref. Emil was furious too, but he stopped complaining to the ref. Oh, like, I gotta get a hold of Sandro. It's freaking hilarious. Um, but do you guys really think that was necessary? I know you kind of say yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I'm going to tell you something. A couple months ago, when Sandro said, I'm working the guys too hard. Remember that?
Hmm.
And everybody was like, "Oh, Sandro, like it's so great that he went to bat for his players." Remember?
Mm.
And then the press conference before this, it was these guys goes on vacation for 5 days. I can't control them for 5 days, and then you have the break. And then what am I supposed to do? So he throws his guys under the bus. And then this week he went back to bat for his guys. He's on the Steve coaster.
I was
So
gonna
like,
say that.
okay, so like I in a way I liked it, but it's like, make up your mind. Like, are you gonna be the disciplined guy? Are you gonna be this guy? Like, what kind of tone are you setting? Because now I'm getting mixed things. Like now I'm getting like a mixed thing. But he went to bat for his guys this week, but the week before he threw them under the bus for going on vacation. We were talking about it. Carballo was in Spain the day before they had practice. What are you thinking? Right?
Uh, yeah, the paellas were so good out there. I mean, he had to take that flight. But, uh, I mean, honestly, you have to set an example too, Jumpy. That does that mean that a player next game gets frustrated and starts yelling at the ref and pressing him? Like he's the coach and he said something important, right? He's like emotions. Sometimes you can't control them. Sometimes you have to say something. And I do agree. Referees need to be held accountable for the bad decisions that they make. And I feel like everybody is prohibited from speaking out their mind. And I think that's a little bit uh, of the problem with MLS. It needs to be a little bit more transparent because if you suck, I mean, we've seen some horrible calls, throughout the season that what they're refing the next game, and then we see them in the playoffs. And like, oh shit, we expect bad calls again. So I think he does make sense in calling these people out, but you have to keep cool headed, man. I mean, I love Sandro. I know he's passionate, but be a role model for the players too. I know I understand what you guys are saying, but we can't be one game without Sandro, and another game he's back and then he's getting red carded again.
But he's there. He's there. That's the biggest crock of shit. You know,
That's what Forsberg said too. It's what he told me. Is that Sandro still travels with the team? He's one of the boys.
yeah.
And today he was standing up for the team. Some people
No.
don't
Okay.
like it
With the
because
game last week, it was that, right? He
yeah.
wasn't on the sideline versus Toronto, but when the press conference came up, he was right there and he was ready to talk his shit, right?
So
So stop
Sandro,
bullshitting. It don't work
yeah.
like that. We know he's there. We know he put the whole play together before the game started, and then he goes sits down.
Yeah, but other than that, I think uh, the team actually played better in the second half. They should have started. Well, no, actually, they did start like that, but they should have continued throughout the first half with that same intensity. That's all I'm asking. And the defensive side, I think we missed Daniel Edelman. Unfortunately, he was with a neck injury, if I'm not mistaken. What is that mushroom coming out of your head, man? What is it? Oh, is the it's the
It's
lamp.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's my
why,
lamp.
why is it coming now?
Oh,
Dropping
But
ideas.
but I love it. I love it. But no, we go now, travel to
San
California,
Jose.
San Jose.
San Jose.
Just give us your final
Court.
thoughts. Give us your final thoughts. I think Bruce Arena, right, is the coach.
Yeah.
Bruce.
Not saying it's a must win, but it's a you should win. Try your hardest to win this fucking game because, bro, the past two games you haven't really done it. This you can make a big statement here. Go to the West Coast, get a W against a good San Jose team. You can make a good statement. Come back, get ready for Philly, U.S. Open. You can make a good statement before going into that. You see Philly two times in 1 week after that. This could be good for a good morale booster for the next three.
But here's my next question, Steve. Maybe you can answer it before we end the show. Do you rest some of the players because you prioritize the U.S. Open Cup?
Oof, loaded question. Now you got to learn how to win on the road. That's what we're gonna start doing, right? Winning on the road. They gotta learn how to win on the road because I don't trust this team to finish in the top 4 spot. I think we're gonna have to learn how to win on the road. This could be a good, stepping point for them to look back and be like, hey, remember when we went to California and got 3 points against a decent San Jose's team? So I say start them, start your starters. We had enough break already. Okay, so we're back in full swing of things. That cup game is going to be big, and I think the players know that too. We'll take that very seriously, and then we'll go from there. I think just try to focus a game at a time, and always put your best foot forward. So we need this win, 3 points, and if we don't get it, it's not the worst because it's a Western Conference opponent. The points don't go against us if we drop them. So at least a point. I'll take another draw. All eyes on Philly this, next upcoming week after 4th of July.
I'm kind of all over the place. Kind of feel like that about they have to win. I mean, I would like to see them win this week. Get the 2 wins against Philly the week after. But you need to start getting points on the road, no matter who it is. You got 2 shots here. You got to get some points on the road. Granted, one is U.S. Open Cup, but just do something on the road. Show some life on the road, and you'll be all right. Also, quick shout out, Matt Freeze. I had to do it, guys, bro. Big fucking
U.S.
kudos,
for
Matt
the
Freeze,
U.S. I allow this.
USA. Oh yeah, it's home run, dude. Like I know he's on the other side, but yo, Matt
Shout out
Freeze,
Matty Ice.
yo, Matty Ice out there, ice cold, man. That's that.
And with that being said, any final remarks, boys? Close us out, man.
Yeah, massive, massive cup game coming up in Philly. I'm not sure if we'll be there or not. I'm going to do my best to be there. We got some demons to resurrect against Philly. I want that Philly smoke. We got, I want to fucking destroy that team. I don't give a shit how we win. Just please win. Give us that Emil Forsberg that we all know and see and lead by example, please.
Jorge.
I think on a couple of things we were all over the place today, but I think on the Timo Werner, be careful what you wish for. Sandro Schwartz can beat Sean Nealis in a race, and let's just get it, man. Let's have fun. If you're out there, check us out. There's Steve with some kits. Let's get it.
Love it. Thank you guys for listening. Zidane Kid, up for sale. See you on the next one, my friends.
Later, boys and girls. Good to be back. Yeah, boy.
Good to be back.